Hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Patera with you today. I want to talk to you about an important subject that I think needs to be discussed, and it's been on my mind and heavy on my heart. So I took it to Miss Homestead Lady today. You've heard me talk about her. I have a whole video about her and her cabin and making bread. Guys, you just don't find a better lady than this. She's like my second mom. And when Miss Homestead Lady says, you need to make a video about this, that makes you pause and go, maybe I should make a video about this. I don't like to come across inflammatory for many different reasons on my videos, but I do like to come across in an honest way. I like the idea of being able to put my head on my pillow at night, which is why I am hesitant in certain things that I do, or, I'm careful about advice that I give, because I never want someone to take me the wrong way, number one, and I don't want to mislead people. Uprooting and changing your lifestyle and then putting it out there in front of everybody, is one thing. It's another thing that when people contact you personally and ask for advice and ask for your opinion on things and look to you for guidance. I think many of you look for that. I know I do. For folks that, may have a YouTube channel or that are seasoned homesteaders. I try to stick with a lot of my local folks, older folks that have been doing it for a long time, because I know they're going to be so brutally honest with me that it almost hurts. But it's good for me, okay? That's the route we're going today. And Mr. Peaches is here on my lap, so he feels the same way. He's keeping me warm out here in this cold weather, aren't you, buddy? So anyway, my concern is, and I'm just going to put it out there, is there are folks online on many different social networks and platforms that are giving the entire notion, impression, or are alluding to that you can homestead. Now, I'm talking, it depends on what type of level you're homesteading, okay? I'm talking about, frankly, at any level, that you're going to be able to not have to work, not have to get a job at some point, and that you can do all of these things for free. Folks, that's a lie. That's a lie. Now, before anybody gets really upset with me, what do I mean by that? I'm not saying that you cannot live extremely frugal. I'm not saying that you can't minimize your bills. I'm not saying that you can't be creative and do things on your own to cut costs. I know you can. But to tell somebody or to give the entire impression that you're going to get things for free is, folks, that's a lie. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm like your grandmother that was so blunt with you, it hurt. Okay, that's a lie. Now, we can debate all day long and run around the bushes over here six different ways and discuss different examples of why you can do this and how you can't do that. And we could go back and forth. I understand that. In fact, that's what Miss Homestead Lady and I do. We play devil's advocate and we do all these things. But the fact of the matter is you could come up with a scenario and I can come up with an opposite scenario. The fact of the matter is that somewhere down the line, you're going to be spending money. I also encourage you that if money is an issue for you to homestead right now, that you need to really evaluate what's going on in your life. I do not encourage people to quit their jobs and to think that they're going to quit their job so they will do nothing but homestead, especially when you have children or you're planning for your kids to go to college. Perhaps you have medical bills. There's 105 scenarios we could name right now alone that would encourage you to really understand that you may not be able to quit your day job. At least your spouse might have to work. I'm also not going to tell you that you're going to have a successful homestead without understanding that you got to pay for stuff. Now, can you get tax breaks and can you barter and can you share and can you build things? Some folks will say, well, I'll just build my chicken coop. Well, okay, that sounds fine and dandy. I think that's wonderful. If you have the skill sets to build things, that's great. And they're going to say, well, I've got all these scraps that I have from old projects and stuff out in the yard. Well, that's great. But the fact of the matter is, at some point, you probably had to pay for some of that material. I find it extremely interesting that folks that try to give you the impression that you'll be living for free, or don't have to work, or your spouse won't have to work, or minimal, or that you won't have to do things, and they run videos running these expensive power tools. I seriously doubt they got those for free. So here's what this video is saying, other than ruffling feathers. The fact of the matter is, do not be naive. Do not be misled. I'm not telling you not to homestead. Of course I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you that you can't do it the smart way, the frugal way, and the right way. But I am telling you it's not free. Nothing is free. It comes off the skin of your back. It comes off the sweat of your brow. And at some point it's going to come out of the bank account you have somewhere downtown. I just have to say this because I want folks to be, when you come to my channel, folks, you need to be able to look at things and say, really? Okay, so what did it take for that to happen? And what time was invested? And if that fails and she has to replace it, how does she do that? You need to critically think these things through. A lot of times you're seeing what people want you to see, and it just looks so beautiful and wonderful and happy and fulfilling and self-sustainable. But what you don't see is the sacrifice behind it, the amount of money it may or may not take to go into it, and if it fails, what's it going to take to jumpstart it again? If you build the cheapest chicken coop on the planet that's not properly built, what if you only have, and you don't put proper wiring around it? You've got all these beautiful hens that are giving you eggs, and, you know, some coyotes get a hold of them. Well, I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to want to replace your hens, and you're going to then go, okay, I got away with this for a certain time period. Now what? You're probably going to have to get some better wiring. What if you can't find that down the road? You're going to have to go to the co-op and probably buy a roll. Good fencing that I use here on my homestead is $172 a roll. And I don't get a tax break on that. But I haven't lost a chicken either. Now, we can pick and choose how we do things and how we represent things. I cannot speak for anybody else out there. Not my business, not my monkey, not my circus, right? But if you're here with me, I'm going to tell you the truth. And I just want you to know that there is a lot involved in homesteading. If you can be debt-free, it is that much better off you are going to be. Okay, let me tell you why. Because if you're bringing in large animals to your farm, you know, you've got a flock of sheep and you've got a dairy cow, you better have a nest egg set beside, because are you really going to have no money in the bank to at least pay for a vet visit if she gets mastitis or something goes wrong? You're going to lose a $1,500 or $2,000 cow and everything you've invested in that because you didn't have a couple $100 set aside to pay the vet when she comes up to see you. That takes money. Maybe you barter with your vet. Maybe you end up paying them in eggs. Maybe they'll cut a deal with you and say, look, I'm going to cut you a deal. You don't have to pay me today. Just pay me in eggs. Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. But if you were like the guy that I just talked to the other day who got chickens last spring, his hens, all these hens, they're not even a year old. They never have laid good eggs for him, and they're still not. You know what he's feeding them? 8% chicken scratch. Because he didn't know, but that's one thing. But number two, he didn't want to spend $9.95 a bag for 16% good layer feed. He wanted to pay $7 for chicken scratch. He's not getting eggs. How is he going to barter and pay his vet with that? Think these things through. When you see things online, use your critical thinking skills and evaluate what these people are doing. How are they doing it? Is it applicable to your life, your area, and your lifestyle? I will finalize in saying this. If money is an issue, get your money finances as best you can set. I'm all about people learning skill sets and learning these things. That's what my homestead is about. My homestead is about us learning skills, okay? That's an investment on my part as a homesteader, for me and for my children, okay? But you may not be completely ready for that full transition. And if you still contend that you need or want to take on certain things, take them slow and take them small. You're going to be better in the long run. Hope this helps you out today. I hope you appreciate what I'm saying here. I'm just looking out for you, okay? I really honestly am. I just want you to be in a real life situation in terms of what you can do. And you can do it. You got to be smart about it and know what's real. We appreciate you being here with us today at Appalachia's Homestead. If you like what you see, like and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. I always love hearing from you. And again, I hope this helped you out. It is not to be inflammatory. It's not to say that you can't do things or that things can't be done. But always be aware of the potentials and the consequences. Y'all stay warm and well out there, and we'll talk to you soon.